Well, this is the headline in the Times-Picayune. Katrina takes aim on New Orleans. This is the worst-case scenario, folks. Right now, the track's still having it, if not over us, very close to us. I'm Jeff Morrow, and I'll have a live report here from the Riverwalk in just a few moments.
This is how those roads look today as thousands flee the path of Katrina. The hurricane is packing, get this, winds of 175 miles per hour. Hello and welcome to Weekend Now. I'm Kevin Robinson.
And I'm Christina Abernathy. Hurricane Katrina is a Category 5 hurricane. That means catastrophic damage to any city in its wake.
That's right, and the people of New Orleans are not taking any chances. This is how the gas lines looked on Saturday as folks prepared to leave the city.
We're seeing now with the system, again, packing 175-mile-per-hour winds and the pressure 907 millibars, moving to the west-northwest at 12 miles per hour. But we do think that in response to a trough off to the north and west, it's going to lead it toward a turn more toward the north as we go through the rest of the day today.
And that's right, and that's where things become a little more questionable, because here we have our cone that continues to align itself right along the north-central Gulf Coast. And what we're looking at right now is a landfall anywhere possibly from, let's say, Mobile Bay to the New Orleans area. And the key will be exactly when does it begin to make that northwesterly turn there, because when that happens, that should pretty much put it on a beeline for where it will impact land on Monday. Now, of course, the Weather Channel is keeping you ahead of the storm.
And, of course, we have crews all along the Gulf Coast this morning. Hurricane expert Dr. Steve Lyons has been tracking this powerful hurricane at the expert desk. Meteorologist Stephanie Abrams is standing by live in Gulf Shores, Alabama, and meteorologist Jeff Morrow is in New Orleans. And we begin with Stephanie in Gulf Shores. And, Stephanie, can you update us on the evacuations there?
Yeah, they do have evacuations, and those went into place at 10 o'clock. And we had a few stragglers on the beach here, and they said, you have to get off. There's no more options. You have to leave the beach, and they did that. They're also clearing the beach. Look at this, moving the lifeguard stands out of the way here. And we also have some shelter information we want to tell you about opening at 2 p.m. today. Daphne East, Fairhope Elementary, Baldwin County High School, and Spanish Fort High School will all be shelters open at 2. Special needs shelters, Fairhope and Foley satellite courthouses. Those will be the special needs shelters. They're getting prepared. There's a lot of construction here on the beach, and they're preparing those sites as well. This is a common sight along the Gulf Coast. Whether new construction or damage left over from Ivan, and with a hurricane approaching, there's a lot to consider on job sites.
We secure all the plywood, loose materials, band it, strap it, like the doors, windows, we secure them, put everything in the building that we can get in the building so that it be secured and safe. We also laid a crane down behind me, you'll see. That's what they're doing right now, working to lay it down.
Building codes are being continually improved, which is helping to protect waterfront property.
This, believe it or not, would look pretty good. Just concrete structures, they withstand real good. All we would lose on this concrete structure would be the blow-away walls on the ground, and that's actually designed that way for a tidal surge. The walls will collapse and let the water go through, so the structure of the building is not damaged at all. You do what you got to do to prepare for it and hope for the best. I mean, this day we lost between today and yesterday for preparing for it, and then it'll take a day at least to pull the stuff back out so we can get back into production. You got to do the preparation. I mean, all I can say is if you don't, shame on you.
And I want to mention that we're preparing as well. All of our crews here in the field, from me here in Gulf Shores all the way to Jeff in New Orleans, Kevin and Christina, we are all going to take the proper precautions. We're not going to stay in harm's way either. I want to make that known to everybody as well.
All right, Stephanie, glad to hear that. You guys stay safe out there. We want to take a look at what's in store, again, with Katrina for today. And here's how it looks.
That's right. As we fly under the massive white cloudiness there being Hurricane Katrina, this is what we're expecting for weather conditions to continue to deteriorate as we go through the day.
I'm Jeff Morrow in New Orleans, Louisiana, along the Riverwalk. Again, Katrina getting ever stronger and continuing to head toward the Louisiana and Mississippi Gulf Coast. Here in New Orleans, it is not panic, but it is deep concern. We'll have a live update with the latest in just a moment.
And we'll also have a a live update from Gulf Shores, Alabama. I'm meteorologist Stephanie Abrams. That mandatory evacuation, guess what? It just went into effect, and they're telling everyone they have to get off the beaches. We'll have a live report next.
Those who can are leaving New Orleans and the Louisiana Gulf Coast. Katrina is the most dangerous hurricane Louisiana has seen in the last 40 years. Winds now up to 175 miles per hour. Hi, and welcome to Weekend Now. I'm Christina Abernathy.
And I'm Kevin Robinson. We are watching a very dangerous and deadly hurricane. It is now a Category 5 hurricane with, as Christina mentioned, sustained winds of 175 miles per hour.
At this time, Katrina is expected to make landfall sometime midday on Monday. Now remember this was just a few days ago when Katrina made its first landfall in South Florida. It brought winds of up to 95 miles an hour and more than a foot of rain to some places, and that was when it was a Category 1. Now it's a Category 5.
That's right, Christine, and we are looking at a dangerous hurricane now. Again, maximum sustained winds up to 175 miles per hour. Movement is off to the west-northwest at 12, and that's critical because the storm has accelerated some since last night, and the minimum central pressure now is down to 907 millibars. The storm is exactly 225 miles south-southeast of the mouth of the Mississippi River. So what are we expecting with Hurricane Katrina right now? Well, this is the projected path, and again, that cone still centered on the north-central Gulf of Mexico for a landfall sometime during the day on Monday. And again, that's subject to change some, especially with the storm accelerating just a little bit. We have to pay very close attention to what has now become quite possibly a deadly hurricane.
Right, we'll continue to keep you updated, and of course, we have crews along the Gulf Coast. This morning, hurricane expert Dr. Steve Lyons is also tracking this powerful hurricane at the expert desk. Meteorologist Stephanie Abrams is standing by live in Gulf Shores, Alabama, and meteorologist Jeff Morrow is in New Orleans. And we begin with Jeff Morrow. Jeff, have you seen an increase in activity since this mandatory evacuation was ordered?
Yeah, there are a few more people out and about. They're kind of wandering around and kind of asking questions, should we be getting out? And of course the answer to that is absolutely. There are some shelters open here, as a matter of fact, and there are some mandatory evacuations out. Let's go ahead and show you the mandatory evacuations that we currently have. St. Charles, Jefferson, Assumption, Lafourche, St. James, Plaquemines, Orleans are all under mandatory evacuation. Anybody outside the floodgates, definitely under mandatory evacuation. What you need to do is try to get on the interstates, I-10 westbound, headed over toward Baton Rouge. Now, you're going to get into some traffic, obviously, but it does look like that things will be moving along, and you could also head on up into Mississippi as well on Interstate 55 and 59. So again, we'll keep you updated from here, but now that the mandatory evacuation is underway, a lot of people, I assume, will start to get up, pack up, and leave. The time is getting limited. Christina, let's get back to you.
All right, thanks, Jeff. We'll check back in with you throughout the morning, but we also want to take a look at what is in store for the Gulf Coast today to sort of graphically give you an idea of what's expected.
That's right. Weather conditions are expected to deteriorate as we go through the afternoon. There's that large mass of cloud cover. Of course, that is Hurricane Katrina. They're looming in the Gulf as we speak. For New Orleans and Biloxi, both look for increasing winds, and of course, also we are watching for increasing wave heights out there as we go through the day. So if you're along the coast in either Biloxi or New Orleans, it is not a smart idea right now.
Of course, a lot of comparisons have been made between this system and Camille, and of course, Camille, one of the worst systems to ever hit the U.S., and it had a pressure at its lowest point of 905, so this is rivaling Camille. And with that, the bottom line, a large and extremely dangerous system. The impacts will be severe and widespread, and the landfall expected sometime midday tomorrow. So that's what you need to remember if you live anywhere here along the northern Gulf Coast. Well, I think we have now Stephanie Abrams, who is live in Gulf Shores, Alabama, and it looks like, Stephanie, those waves have really kicked up in the background.
They have, we're sustained about 10 miles an hour, gusting to about 16. I want to show you quickly. If we go down the beach a little bit here, you see those lifeguard stands are actually taking those off the beach. And we had a big bulldozer, and they're going to clear those off the beach. And they actually just came out here and told everyone they need to get off the beach. There's a few stragglers left, and I can guarantee you they'll make them leave very soon because this storm continues to intensify and threaten the coast here. And you know what? They're worried about the wind, they're worried about the rain, but they're most concerned about the surge. So as we head throughout the day today, of course, that Gulf is going to continue to turn and continue to get it worse here. And as I was mentioning, Kevin and Christina, our winds from the east, and I can actually look above me and see those clouds racing from east to west. We're on the north side of the storm, counterclockwise flow, so it makes sense.
All right, Stephanie, thanks so much. Stay safe out there. We'll check back in with you in just a bit. Of course, coming up, details on how to protect your food supply when the power goes out.
But first, hurricane expert Dr. Steve Lyons will show us what to expect as Katrina moves ashore.